Hello and welcome to the vlog. This is me filming the intro at the very end because I totally forgot to do it at the beginning. I kind of just started talking and went with it. But this is my first vlog. I am Breezy, so we're gonna go and start. So this is actually going to be the week of Memorial Day weekend. So it's gonna start Sunday and end the next Sunday because I got lazy, as you'll see. But I hope you enjoy. Good morning. It's almost afternoon and I'm not a morning person, but that's okay. So I've got lots to do today. Today is Sunday and I'm going back to work for the first time in over a year. I've been working, but at home. And so now I have to actually physically go back to my building and work like I used to back before all the shenanigans happened in the world. And yep, so we're preparing for that. We are gonna do food prep because I'm not used to not being able to just go to my kitchen and eat whatever I want on the spur of the moment. So I have to actually plan for that now. And since not a morning person, hence the fact that it's 11 o'clock and I'm just now starting this, yeah, food prep. That's what we're doing today. So we're also going to be reading hopefully a couple of books this week. I plan on finishing things this week. That is my goal. I am in the middle of listening to Vicious Spirits and I'm going to start maybe a couple others. I want to finish the duologies like Spin the Dawn. I want to read Unravel the Dusk. So let's hope we actually get that done. So I did all I could at the moment. We'll do more later on in the day, but I am currently waiting for an Amazon delivery to finish what I'm doing because I want to pre-package my breakfast and part of my lunch, not package, but I want to make it to where, since I'm not a morning person, that I want to just grab it and go in the morning so that I don't have to make all of my lunch, just some of it, and then I can grab the rest and head out the door really fast. So yes, so I did that and I was listening to Vicious Spirits while I did it. I am about 80% through the way. I was enjoying it at first, but I don't like the main character, Somin. She is not very intelligent. There are certain things that, like, if you get a text from your Gumiho friend who says Jihoon isn't Jihoon, shouldn't you automatically know, crap, who's inside Jihoon? But she just does a lot of, like, it takes her too long to understand what's going on, and I don't understand it since she knows about the supernatural world now. So why is it taking her so long to put two and two together? It just bothers me. And I know that I'm not the targeted audience for these books, but I really enjoyed the first one, and I have been in love with Korean dramas since 2012, 2011. I think it was 2012. So it's not that it's like, oh, but it's like so Korean drama like, which I understand because communication is totally not a thing in most Korean dramas, but this is just, she's just not putting two and two together, and it's very, very frustrating for me. But anyway, this is besides the point. So I'm thinking, since I've got time to just sit and read for a little bit, since it's a 3-day weekend, I'm gonna start the newest Vanessa Kelly book that's out before her next one comes out. Vanessa Kelly is a romance author and she likes to do Regency romances. She's currently into Highlander romances, which I love it. But she is the author who made me just fess up to loving all genres, because there's always that, like, you read romance novels, and now I'm like, yes, I do. They're amazing. I love them. And these covers, I'm just gonna admit that they're pleasing to me, even though, like, it's so silly looking. But I love it, and I love the dresses and how flowy everything is. It's silly, but you know, we love it anyway. So yeah, so this is her newest one. She's about to come out with another one, and I've read all of her work because when you find something you like, and she's the one that made me like romance as much as I do. So we're reading it. It is the Highlander's English Bride in the Clan Kendrick series that she's in the middle of. So we're gonna start this and catch up on Vanessa Kelly.
Such an easily distracted cat.
Yeah.
What's he thinking with the bag?
I don't know. He's cute though.
Kitty.
So I'm about 86 pages in. I'm on chapter 6, and I'm getting frustrated with our lead female because she is causing all these highly unnecessary problems for our main for Graham, for our main male character. And normally I wouldn't care that she's being like super headstrong and decided to take things into her own hands, and I'd be like, yeah, girl, you don't need a man, go ahead, fix it yourself. Except for it's none of her business. Like, it's none of her business, and she is like just butting into things she has no idea what's really going on. So she's just causing all these issues, and she's constantly needing to be rescued, but then she doesn't admit that she needs to be rescued when she totally probably needed to have some sort of help from a man. Because in this society, if you're not chaperoned, your reputation is ruined. And it's like she keeps thinking that just because she's rich, her godfather's the king, she thinks that she knows best. And I'm like, no. Okay, so I understand that she says that she has learned in this world that men are basically useless and she's got to do everything herself. Or you can't just go around thinking all men are useless and behaving that way. That's rude. You gotta give individuals a chance. Like, it should be a case-by-case basis. But anyways, now it's just she's causing all these issues, and there's like a thief that you learn about at the beginning of this book, and Graham is constantly being thwarted at catching him because she's causing issues. It's been very frustrating for me. I just don't like the headstrong girl who can't admit that maybe she should ask for help, or like the headstrong girl who's inserting her, not ask for help, because not everyone, there can be certain circumstances where like the woman is not comfortable asking for help ever from anyone, and I get that, but she doesn't need to be butting in. Like, if you're gonna not ask for help or find out the full situation, then you don't need to be butting in when it's said that he's told her that they're handling it, and she's like, well, no, I'll handle this. And I'm like, you don't know the full circumstances, you don't know what he's capable of. Let the people who are originally handling it handle it. They'll handle it. Don't cause more trouble for them. That just, anyway, that's my thing. She's causing trouble where there doesn't need to be any, and it's very frustrating. But anyway, but it's good. As always, I enjoy Vanessa's writing. I'm on a first name basis, of course. I enjoy her writing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I didn't make any progress with Vicious Spirits because I'm not in the mood at the moment, but I'll probably finish it sometime today or tomorrow. I mean, it's still pretty early, so yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I finished Vicious Spirits. I did end up liking it more, even though Soman
bothers me. It just turns out that apparently teenagers in this book don't think, but it's okay. It's okay. Even the immortal ones that aren't technically teenagers, they don't know how to put two and two together either till almost too late. But that's okay because it was highly entertaining. I was entertained. I don't know what I'm gonna give it rating wise. I will figure that out and like maybe decide before the end of June, and then I'll tell you guys in my wrap up. I think it might be a 3-star. Definitely not giving it more than 3 stars, but I mean, like, I might give it a 2-star. I haven't decided. I will sit on that and then I will tell you later. I mean, it was pretty good. I enjoyed the first book. I definitely enjoyed Wicked Fox more, but I think I was also like so excited to have something that felt like a Korean drama. I love Korean dramas. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on Vicious Spirits for the moment. I'm going to sit on it. Maybe tomorrow I'll feel a little bit differently and I can tell you exactly what I did and didn't like, and I'll think about it. But moving on, I did manage to get a little bit further into my Vanessa Kelly romance novel. I got to like a page 110. She's still annoying. Just my day for annoying characters. She's still annoying, but she may supposed to be like, he brings out the worst in her maybe, because a lot of times she does feel bad the next day and like wants to apologize for her behavior. But how about we just don't do silly things to begin with? Let's not cause trouble for people. Let's think before we act. Let's not put yourself in scandalous positions in a society that your reputation could be ruined and you could bring him down too. So I don't think that's gonna happen, or it may happen, it may be on purpose. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. I always do. They always end up being better in the end. But yeah, not that it's ever a struggle. It's always highly engaging. I mean, I technically didn't read this for very long. I maybe read it for an hour while I was doing other things. I actually feel very accomplished today because I finished Vicious Spirits and I read 110 pages of the Highlander's English Bride. But also, I washed all of my fruit. I cut up some watermelon. My Amazon package arrived with these cute little 7-ounce glass jars that I'm going to put pudding in. That's right, pudding, chocolate pudding, because chocolate pudding makes me happy and I want it at work. I used to actually buy, we have like this fresh pantry. It's not a vending machine, it's just like a little thing that they have set up at work, and they have only 1 or 2 of these, but they're like little chocolate parfaits, but they cost like $4.99, and I'm like, I don't want to spend $5 on a fancy pudding with whipped cream in it. So, but I used to, because sometimes you need that pick-me-up. So instead I was like, oh, you know what, well, this time I'm just gonna make my own chocolate pudding parfait, and it's just gonna cost me a couple of dollars for the pudding and the milk, and I'll have like a ridiculous amount of days worth instead of spending $5 every day on one pudding that's not even there every day because they only stock it sometimes. But so I'm excited about that. Let's see. Anyway, so I guess it's all my updates for tonight. It is rather late. It's after 10. So I'm gonna start getting ready for bed since I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning because I just couldn't sleep. But yeah, so maybe I will see you tomorrow.
Bacon and potatoes and eggs. So good. Why do you do that? You always get up as soon as I film. Hello.
Oh, it's stuck to his back foot. He got it out.
So it's Monday now, and I did have a little bit of time to think about exactly what I didn't like about Vicious Spirits. I think I didn't like the fact that the plot was mainly driven by miscommunication, not explaining things well, or people misconstruing what was said, and a lot of the book wouldn't have happened had people just communicated with each other. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, which I didn't know was a pet peeve until I started watching Asian dramas. I was gonna say Korean dramas, but it happens in Chinese dramas, Japanese dramas, a lot of Asian dramas where the plot and misunderstandings wouldn't have happened had people just talked to each other. It's where I say, you know, people in Asian dramas, they don't know how to communicate. They're too busy making people guess. They're mind readers. But yeah, so a lot of that wouldn't have happened had people just talked to each other, and I think that's something that really does bother me, because I don't think it's enough of a reason for an entire whirlwind of stuff to happen. There are some where I think it's kind of cute, where it's like funny misunderstandings happen because people only have to communicate things. That's fine. But when it's like life and death situations and stuff like that, I think it needs to be something a little bit worse than not being able to talk properly with one another. But at the same time, maybe that was the point she was trying to make. I don't know. All I know is that I didn't like it. I still don't know what I'm gonna give it, because I could just be having a moment, because my family is watching a Korean drama right now called Marry Me Now, and I feel like a lot of that wouldn't happen had people just communicated things to each other. So I could just be having a moment. I have those frequently. But yeah, so I'm gonna sit on that for a little bit, probably till the end of this week, and then I'll probably update my ratings on it. I didn't really read much from when I saw you last to now. I was gonna say this morning, but it's like 2 o'clock, so it's not morning anymore. I picked up Unravel the Dusk, which is a sequel to Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, but I didn't really make too much progress. I'm only like 7% of the way in. I didn't even listen to a whole hour of it. I did read a little bit more of The Highlander's English Bride, but I only read maybe about 40 pages more. I was too busy talking with my family and eating bacon, and my cat's adorable. But yeah, so I still have time to read more, although I did want to focus today on just relaxing completely, because tomorrow I actually go physically to my building for the first time in over a year, since the end of March of 2020. So I'm trying not to think too hard about that, but that's a thing that's happening. I'm pretty much prepared. I just have to do my pudding and cut my salad, and then I'll be prepared to go. I hope that I have the energy for seeing people. I'm not used to it, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We got this. But yeah, so here I go, off to go do things. And here they are, my pudding. Of course, they're not all for me, so don't worry. So here I am, back at work for the first time in over a year. I don't want to go in. Well, I'm in the parking lot because I don't need to go in for a little bit. So yeah, so I didn't do much reading last night. I watched some YouTube, watched part of a show, watched a little bit of Neon Genesis, because it's my brother's favorite show, and we made a deal that I would watch his and he would watch, not my favorite, because my favorite's totally Sailor Moon, but he's gonna watch Modao Zuchi, the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, or the founder of Diabolism. I don't know which one is the technical translated title. So I only have 4 or 5 episodes left of Neon Genesis, plus the 2 movies, and then my brother has to watch all of Modao Zuchi. he wouldn't normally watch it because he really doesn't like the whole 3D thing. Oh, look, there's my mom. Yeah, so I ended up just going into work early, setting up my computer. Sorry about the cutoff, I apologize. I did absolutely no reading today because I just didn't have time at all. It was setting up the computer and then everybody asking me to help set up their computer because apparently setting up computers is hard. And so that's basically what I did today. And then I met my boss that was hired during everybody being at home that I've never physically met before. And so I didn't want him to think that all I did was read books all day at work, which is not what I do. So I wanted to work extra hard and make a good impression. You know how it goes. So I didn't actually read today. I'm hoping to get some read tonight. Although I did say that I wanted to finish Neon Genesis tonight, so we'll see how that works out. But I will definitely keep you updated to let you know what I do end up reading or watching or whatever.
It's pointless because, like,
He's so cute.
why are you mimicking
My
real
kitty.
food with figures? Like, that's not the point of that kind of diet. You might as well just actually plants, you know? Like, it's kind of
Oh, so cute. Yes, my kitty. Hello, it's been a while. It's Sunday. Woohoo! I totally didn't film at all since I don't remember. I filmed my cat because he's cute. But other than that, nope. I finished 2 books and I'm still reading Unravel the Dusk. But, you know, I'm a little bit further into that. I'm not 100% sure. I'll talk about that next time. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, it's just an audiobook, and apparently work keeps me busy, and it's a type of work where I'm on the phone all day, so I can't exactly like listen to someone talk in one ear and then have like a story going on in another. I'm not that talented. So yeah, so it's been a while. Hang on, let me grab my books and we'll go over which ones I read. Okay, so I grabbed them. And the first one, well, not the first one, because I did read Fish's Spirit. So the next one I finished was The Highlander's English Bride by Vanessa Kelly. And overall, I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it as much as I usually love her books. The character, the female lead in this, she was really annoying. But I apparently have this like problem with people being pushy and making people do things they don't want to do. It frustrates me to no end, and she does this a lot in the book. I think it's trying to be feministic, but it's an aggressive feminism, and I don't understand why we need to be a man and bossy and have like manly things in order to be equal. Like, I don't understand it. I think we should be able to be feminine but hold our ground, but not be like trying to make up for it by being super duper bossy and not listening to anything a man says, period. Like, I don't genuinely like listening to men tell me what to do. Most of the time I don't want to do it. But like, if they have sound logic, I'm like, okay, sound logic. Maybe I'll do what you say, and maybe I'll do sort of what you say, but with my own twist. But I don't know. So she was just super pushy, and she never listened to Graham, and it was just really, really, really frustrating because she needed to, because he's just trying to protect her. And she kind of did things that put her in danger and made Graham work overtime, and then Graham would put himself in danger in order to stop her from being able to put herself in danger. So it was just like, stop causing problems. But anyway, but it was good. There were some things that I don't care for. Like, I don't care for random kisses in the middle of non-romantic conversations. Don't care for it. I also, at one point she frustrated me so bad that at one point I wanted her to get shot. Not like fatally, I didn't want her to die, but I wanted her to get shot so that she'd realize that, yeah, this was serious, Graham is right. But, you know, whatever. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Only 3 stars though. And I had the same problem with Vicious Spirits. She was like super bossy, and I'm just not a fan of like overly bossy characters. I don't care for them. I never have. The other book I finished was not a book that anyone will probably read. I love learning about historical things, and it's usually based in something that I probably saw that has nothing to do with actual history. Like, for instance, I at the moment am fascinated by Emperor Elizabeth of Austria, Sissy, Queen of Hungary. Empress of Austria, Queen of Hungary. Anyway, she is fascinating to me at the moment. But about 2 years ago, I watched this German musical on YouTube called Elisabeth das Musical, and it was like, I was like, what am I watching? I don't know what I'm watching. This is weird. Everything has this weird like shade of blue to it. It's weird. And then I immediately was like, I'm gonna make my mom watch this and I'm gonna watch it again. So I watched it 2 times back to back, like literally back to back. Like I watched it at work, but it was during slow season, and it was like 2 years ago, so we were like super duper slow. And it took me 4 hours to watch a 2-hour musical. So, you know, I was actually working. I was working. I was caught up. It was the end of the day. I finished it on the way home, and I immediately was like, Mother, I have no idea what I just watched, but I'm gonna make you watch it now. And then I did, and she was like, well, that was interesting. That was weird. And I was like, yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of love it. Now it's like one of my favorite musicals. I don't know. It's weird. I love it. You should watch it. Elisabeth Das Musical. My favorite version is the 2002 version with Pia Daus and Uwe Kroger. They're the best. I love them. I've seen this musical in different languages. I've seen it in Hungarian, many times in Hungarian, just because I like to give multiple chances. I've seen it in Dutch. I've seen the Berlin versions. I've seen the Vienna. I don't know why it's different. Is it the same? Anyway, I've seen the versions there. I've seen the original version, but it's like a, I think it's a dress rehearsal that was recorded from 1992 with Uwe Kroger and Pia Daus. And Uwe is so pretty, but it's fine. We love Uwe Kroger. Also good. That's my 3rd favorite. My 2nd favorite, I haven't actually gotten to physically see. You can't find it anywhere. You can find bits and pieces, but you can't find it. You can buy the album for it, and that is the original Korean cast with Junsu. We love us some Junsu, but he plays Der Tod, and it's fantastic. He plays like a very sensual, like suave, beautiful K-pop idol looking Der Tod, and it's wonderful. Anyway, so I really love this musical, and the musical made me want to learn more about Elizabeth, and so I read this. This is actually in 3 different languages, but don't ask me which ones because don't actually know. But it's mainly like got lots of like wonderful pictures throughout her life. One of my favorites is obviously the cover, which is a very famous portrait of her. But another one of my favorites is a photo of her whenever she was crowned Queen of Hungary. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And what's crazy is the costumes in the musical are not exact, but they're pretty dang close to the actual things that she wore. Like Pia in one of the songs, which is Wenn ich tanzen will, When I Want to Dance, she wears this costume, and it's gorgeous, and Pia is gorgeous. Anyway, it's fine. So I read this. This was nice because it had like a big chunk of her life, but told so simply and quickly, but it made sense. It made sense. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Empress Sissy, Elizabeth, she was like super depressed. And she would write in her journal, which is how we know she's depressed. And she would just be like, I'm not free. I want my freedom. I can't breathe. Stuff like that. Because she's an aristocrat and she was born royalty, but she married the Emperor of Austria at a very young age, and she was like 16. And she felt suffocated when she actually grew up very free, very almost country-like, but not, because she's aristocratic, so I guess aristocratic country. Very free. She was allowed to do whatever. Her father had like created his own circus. I don't know if it was like a legit circus or if it was like a backyard circus. So he would do like horse riding tricks. Anyway, and then she had to marry, well, she didn't have to, well, how do you say no to an emperor? But she married Franz Joseph, and she was very restricted, very restrained. She had to be very humble because she had to be, you know, the empress. She had to be behind the crown, and then, so she was very depressed, but she kind of like sort of broke away. Anyway, watch the musical. The musical makes it to where like she was so depressed that it had to be because Death himself loved her and wanted her to be with him. And that's who Uwe Krog plays. He plays Der Tod, who is Death. It's great. I love it. Go watch it. So these two books are what I read this week, plus I finished Fish's Spirits, and I am, like I said, sort of halfway through. I think I'm only like 30% to be honest with Unravel the Dusk. I am enjoying it. Just, it's an audiobook, and I have to learn how to make time for audiobooks in my life, which sounds crazy, but it's true. I like holding the book so much better, but I do enjoy audiobooks, but I'm very, I don't have sensory issues I might have sensory issues when it comes to noises, but I think it's also because I'm on the phone all day that I don't want to keep hearing someone talking in my ear after I get off the phone. That's probably what it is. I probably don't have sensory issues. I just tired of people talking in my ear all day. Anyway, so that was this week. I hope you enjoyed. It was kind of boring, but work is going well. I enjoyed seeing all my coworkers. I forgot how much I miss them and love talking to them. I met my boss for the first time ever because he was hired in the middle, like right after COVID. So it was like we all went home the end of March, and he was hired, I feel like sometime in July. And I've never met him face to face. I've talked to him on the phone a lot, but never face to face. And so I met him, and he's nice, which is great. It's always good to have a nice boss, and he seems very friendly. So he gave for that. But yeah, no, and I've met some new faces at work, and it's great. I've always loved my coworkers. We get along pretty well, so that's interesting. It's just having to physically be back is interesting, but it's a lot louder. I can tell you that. I work at a call center, and when you're at home and there's like no noises versus when you're in a room all together, we don't have a noise canceling machine anymore, so it's just, we're very loud, and I'm a very loud person naturally, so it's like, oh, they can all hear what I'm saying. I have to make sure I sound more professional than normal. We work in an industry, I won't tell you which kind, but it's a very laid back kind of industry. I only talk to other businesses, but they're all kind of like, they want to feel like we're kind of like family or compatriots. We're not businesses talking together. We're like friends, but not. And that's what our goal is we call it, the name of my company, Family. And we want to be like business partners with these people. We're not, but we want to be. And so I try to make it a point to sound professional, but like not to where it would put them off, because it would. I try to sound very friendly, try to remember who they are, what's going on, that kind of thing. So, but when I'm at home, I can do that quite easily, and it's fine. But like at work, you never know who wants you to be more professional and who wants you to be more friendly. So I'm like, oh no, they can hear me. I hope I don't say anything wrong. I won't say anything wrong. I always am worried that I will. I'm always like, oh, what did I do? How did I mess up? But I'm fine usually. And they always like, you're so good at talking to people. And I'm like, that's great. I learned it from my mom because I'm not a people person. Anyway, that's been my week. So let's go start a new one. I will see you later. Bye.